Hello, everybody. I'm Jack Gallo.
And I'm Braden Butler, and we're going to be talking about virtues today in the podcast studio.
My virtue that I will be covering is courage.
My virtue is patience. I think it's the best.
We will see about that. Stay tuned.
Okay. Okay, so my claim today is that patience is the most important virtue when you're looking for the good life.
And then my claim is courage is the most important virtue to lead one to the good life. Okay, first off, I think it's important that we need to just describe what our definition of the good life is because, as we've been talking about in class, it seems like it's different for everyone. No one.
Yeah, 100%.
So, Braden, take it away. What's your good life?
For me, the good life is living what God has planned for me and also being able to support both me and my family in whatever we need to do in just life itself. I feel like I'm a big family person, and I just want to give me and my family the best life I can. So what is your definition of the good life, Jack?
That is a good definition, Braden. I would say mine is also on the same lines as that because I value family as my number one. But I would say my definition of the good life is being able to support my family and live out my dreams, as well as honoring God in everything that I say and do. I feel like if you can achieve those things, then you are living the good life.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
So now that we have our individual definitions of the good life, we should get into how does our virtues, mine being courage and yours being patience,
Yep.
why are those so important in helping us reach our good life?
So I know that obviously I already gave you what the good life is for me, and you know, the first thing I say is living the good life is what God wants me to do and what God has planned for me in life. And, I still don't know exactly what that is yet, obviously. And, you know, it takes patience to finally understand what it is. I'm 18 years over with my life already, and I still have no clue what God has planned for me yet. And, also what I said in my what is a good life is being able to support both me and my family and give them the best life I can. I also think it takes patience there because, first of all, family is number one for me, and you know, takes patience to understand, what you're going to do in life and how you're going to, be able to provide for your family and make money, obviously, because in this day and age, I hate to say it, but, money runs the world and kind of sucks, but you have to go out there and you have to be able to make money or you won't be able to provide a good life for you and your family, which is unfortunate. So after that, I pretty much I gave him my claim and all that stuff, and I want to move on to Jack now. He's going to state what courage has to do with the good life and how it can improve that.
So when I was looking for the virtue that I wanted to pick, there was a bunch. I think when we were reading the book, there was a bunch of great virtues to choose from. But I saw this quote by Charles Caleb Colton, and it says, "Physical courage, which despises all danger, will make a man brave in one way, and moral courage, which despises all opinion, will make a man brave in another." And I love that quote because in today's world, it's very opinion based. So it's very important to not be fazed by others' opinions. And it's a truly dangerous and great skill when you can develop that mindset to not give in to people's negative opinions of you. Because I think when you're trying to go for the good life and you're trying to live out those dreams, you are going to come across so many people that say you can't do it or want you to be more realistic. And just there's a lot of negative people that sometimes the real truth is they don't want to see you succeed. They don't want you to see you live your dreams out. So I think when you can develop that callous mentality of not being fazed what other people think about you or their opinion about you are, because you realize that God's opinion and your family opinion and your opinion of yourself are the only things that truly matter. I think that is when you can truly become a dangerous person in the way of like dangerously being successful.
Yeah, 100%.
That is And I think it's big in sports too, especially in baseball, because baseball's the game of failing. Like if you succeed 4 out of 10 times, you're going to be a Hall of Famer that gets paid hundreds of millions of dollars. And so that's crazy thinking about that 4 out of 10 times. But simply that just takes a whole lot of confidence in yourself and courage in yourself to not worry about those hecklers in the stands kind of heckling at you because, oh, this and that. You just stick to your belief in yourself and God's belief in you and know that, hey, I'm out here living my dream and chasing after my dream because I have the courage to do so.
All right, so one of the big reasons why I chose patience, I know I didn't explain it before because I was talking more about how patience is linked to the good life, but I was looking through the book and really trying to decide what links to all the other virtues, and I think patience does. I also thought back to a Bible verse, James 5:7-8. It states, "Be patient, therefore, brothers, until the coming of the Lord. See how the farmer waits for the precious fruit of the earth, being patient about it until it receives the early and the late rains. You also be patient, establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord is at hand." To me, this is basically what I said before, how God has a plan for you, and you just have to be patient until you figure that out. And that to me kind of links to this Bible verse because obviously, like I said, I have lived 18 years, and so has Jack, and I'm sure we both really don't know what our plan is in life just quite yet. I know Jack's going to go play baseball at Southeast Missouri State. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I got you. And obviously, I still want to go play baseball too, so I'm still trying to figure out my plan. But that's only for the next, 4 years of my life after that. So no one really knows what they're going to do, Life will take you so many different places, and it's hard to finally get what you want in life until, you really find it. So that's what I have to say, and that's kind of why I chose it, because that Bible verse, and I feel like it links to all the different virtues in the book after we read through all of them, all 12 of them.
I will say, when we got to do this assignment, I wish we were able to pick multiple virtues because I do think when you pick patience, I think patience is the top one. That and courage, I think, go hand in hand. I think you can't have one if you don't have the other. And probably the best advice I've ever been given was by Coach Josue Lopez.
Josue.
And it was the simplest thing ever. He said, trust the process. Trust the process. That's it. And that is such an interesting saying and such a hard saying because how you're saying, it's like, what is the process?
Exactly.
What are we trusting?
Yeah, what's the plan?
And you only get it once when you've seen the end and reached the goal or whatever that is. But trusting the process is such a key thing in life because how it's like great things take time. And especially in a world where everything's so
fast-paced now.
Exactly, fast-paced. That's like TikTok, for example.
Exactly.
Everybody loves TikTok because it's these 3, 4, 5 seconds releases of dopamine. Yeah, it's just like, oh, this is great.
Constant IV drip.
Exactly, and that's how we were just talking about in English class about how reading long books is not a thing anymore because nobody trusts the process. Yeah. Nobody wants to go through those hard, long, brutal times, and it's just if they don't see a reward right away, they're like, okay, I'm going to give up.
Yeah.
And that's so crucial to trust the process through all those ups and downs, knowing that this is part of the process. And this is what I love about trusting the process is Nick Saban. I love what this guy always talks about. And it says, if you want to be good, if you want to be good, you don't really have a lot of choices. It takes what it takes. You have to do what you have to do to be successful. So, and I think that's the perfect example of kind of combining courage and patience, because courage is, okay, that's your dreams, and you're going to go after your dreams and do whatever it takes. But then it's also the patience, because it just simply takes what it takes to reach your goals.
Yeah,
and that's the process.
Yeah.
You just have to do what it takes. And I feel like in today's age, trusting the process is a skill that has kind of gone away. People want the reward right away, and they don't want to have to go through what you have to go through to be great.
Yeah, like I the one quote in the book of the definition that I have that Karen Pryor says is that patience is the willingness to endure suffering, and I feel like we've lost that nowadays. As you can say, like everybody just wants the goal. Everybody just wants, the money, whatever they want. They want to reach the top, and they want to reach it now. They don't have the patience to go through life and learn the skills that they have to be able to get the money or the end goal that they want. And people just have lost that nowadays. They've lost the patience, and you can see it in everything. For example, like Jack was saying, like TikTok. Like no one reads long books anymore. It's shorts. Like 1 minute long videos on TikTok or Instagram Reels. It's short, mindless stuff, and that's what life has come to nowadays, and it's really not going down the right road.
Yeah, and another thing to go off of is on page 96, she says, one of the essential qualities of courage is endurance. I think that's great because that's exactly what the process is. It's a marathon, not a sprint. You have to go down those valleys and over those mountains, and it takes endurance.
Mm-hmm.
There's people who don't have that endurance. That's where they don't trust the process.
Yeah.
Exactly, and it's endurance of trusting. It's believing in God and His plan, because as long as you're giving your best effort and being the best version of yourself, then that's setting yourself up
100%.
for success.
The more I listen to you, Jack, the more it feels like you're arguing for patience, huh?
Well, I just think they're both very important.
I agree.
Okay, so now we kind of went over the similarities of the two. Now we're going to go over the differences. And I think the big difference of patience and the process, I think it is so important that if you do not have courage and that desire and the will to go out and get what you want, you got to go out and get it. Have that toughness, have that just burning fire inside of you to go out and get whatever your dream is. I feel like that's such an important part. You can't just say patience and trust the process and sit back on the couch and think that, just magically, if I just wait for an extended time, that I'm trusting the process and it's just going to come to me. No. You have to put in so much work that it just comes to you, but it's because you worked your butt off every single day. It's not going to happen through the patience of, I'm just going to sit back and one day it'll come to me. You have to be impatient in the way you work. You have to work you have to outwork everybody, because if you're trying to become that goal of being the 1% of the 1%, you have to outwork the other 99%. So that just takes courage and that raging fire.
Yeah, 100%. Like for me, I put it into simple terms, and this is basically what I said. A courageous man needs patience because courage is a slow and steady, firm quality. And this to me states, obviously, you need courage to go out. You need to be able to go out and do what you want to do. You have to have that fire inside of you, like Jack was talking about, to get up off of the couch and go do what you need to do to be successful in life. But obviously it's not just going to be right there in front of you. You're obviously going to have to work for it, and you're going to need patience. That's where obviously patience comes in. So I think that's where the difference is. Courage to me is more of like the fire and the willingness to get up and go do what you need to do to be successful in life and do what God is calling for you, where patience is the willingness to endure the suffering along the process and being able to wait for the
that's perfectly put, about being able to endure the hard parts of the process. So I think that's where courage and process, that is so perfectly said, about how it's going to be rough because you're achieving something just great, and so it's going to be hard, and that's why so many people don't achieve it, because they don't have, one, the courage to do hard stuff, and then the patience to do hard stuff for a long time. And that's
Yeah, just like talking about enduring suffering. Like, I'm enduring suffering right now, man. It's burning hot in this podcast room right now, and I got a jacket on. I'm
Exactly.
hot.
That's just
Yep.
having the patience to endure, because we have another 15 more minutes to go. So he has to have patience to
Yep.
get through it. And so,
Oh,
yeah, exactly. That's a nice little, very
example.
example,
We got
very
for
little
you.
example.
And, I also, another difference that I see, and I love this quote. It's from Gregory the Great, and it basically says, patience is the root and guardian of all the virtues. Stated differently, it is difficult to be loving, courageous, or wise without also being able to wait with excellence. Basically, like what I get from this is being able to not only wait and being able to endure the suffering along the journey, but making everything you can throughout the journey with excellence, doing everything the best you can, not giving half effort through the process, because you won't really be able to learn properly and understand what you're really doing if you only give half effort. I know in like baseball, like you're either all in or you're all out. There is no in between, and I feel like if you're not fighting for that goal and trying to do the best you can every single rep, you're not gonna be or meet the goal you really want to, because it's not the right way to do it. You have to do everything you can with excellence, or else it won't work out, and you won't really be learning from the whole process and learning from along the way to that goal.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing. And how you're saying in baseball, it's either you're all in, you're all go, or you're not going at all.
Yeah.
I think that's the mindset you got to have in the batter's box is when you get your pitch, I mean, you are all in. You are putting all your chips out there.
100%.
It's either you are 100% all in or you are not going at all. You've never seen anybody take a check swing expecting a home run. I mean, the guys who truly mash and stuff, they're going all in. They get their pitch, and they are taking that swing like it's their last swing ever.
Yep.
They are taking their very best swing to do damage, and that's the process of going all in. And I think a big thing of that is the mind, is having that mindset
100%.
of going all in. You've prepared your body, but now it's all about your mind and mastering the mind. And that's why on page 102 it says, moral strength is one kind of courage. Perhaps it's the foundation of all courage. And I think how you hear the sayings of sports, how it's like, oh, football's 80% mental, 20% physical. Baseball's 90% mental, 10% physical. So it shows that if something's 90% mental, it is so important that the mind is mastered and your mind is in the right places so that you can be at your best and you have the mindset. And it's all about the mindset. That inner dialogue that you tell yourself is so crucial. And that's just so important, especially in baseball, that your
100%.
mindset is, especially in the batter's box, just having the right mindset in anything you do, honestly, in life, is having the right mindset is so crucial.
Yeah.
Okay, Braden. Now we're towards the end of the podcast.
Yep.
If you were to tell your younger self one piece of advice or have them pick one virtue, would you say, what virtue would that be that you tell your younger self is more important? The virtue of patience or the virtue of courage?
Man, that's a tough one. That's I honestly, I think they work hand in hand. Obviously, courage is like you were saying, the willingness to be able to get up and do what you need to do to have that good life, like we were both saying. And patience is obviously the willingness to endure the suffering along the way, because obviously, it's not just going to come right away, the goal. So you're going to have to endure lots of suffering along the way, and you're just going to have to deal with it. So I think that, as much as I want to say patience, I think that patience probably does have a bigger role in it. But I think both are hand in hand, because you have to have that courage and that drive to get up and go do what you want to do and make a name for yourself in life. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think those are all great points. And I think if I were to give my younger self advice, I would honestly have to go with, I think, obviously courage is huge. You have to have that fire and the desire. And once you have that dream, you have to have that mentality that no one is going to stop me until I get that dream. There's not a thing you can say or do or any of that. Like, it is just, you are dead red, all in on that goal. Mm-hmm. But simple as this is, the saying of trusting the process, that is just so that is something I think about every single day of how, whether in your ups and the downs or stuff, and it's just so important that you have the patience to trust the process. I mean, if things aren't going your way, it's not the time to fold and decide to, you know what, it's not going my way, I'm done. You just gave up on your dream. No. It's, you got to think, okay, this is part of the process. This is just how it goes. I'm going to trust it. I'm going to stick through it because tough times don't last, but tough people do. And that's exactly where courage comes in. You got to be tough, and you have to be tougher than anybody out there. You have to be the toughest person out there, and you have to also have the patience to achieve your dreams. Because go out there and get them, because you know what? Someone has to be the next MLB player. Someone has to be the next billionaire. Someone has to do that. Someone has to – Mike Trout has to retire sooner than later, so someone's got to fill his shoes.
Yep, 100%. Man, you fired me up, man.
Let's go.
Great
fired
podcast.
Me up.
Let's go.
Good work. I'm Jack Gallo.
I'm Braden Butler, and this was a podcast on virtues. I think that both of our virtues were the best, and I think that you need both of them in life. But if
to
I'm
be the best,
honest, 100%. But if I'm being honest, I think all the virtues you need in life, I think that they all work hand in hand together.
Exactly. I think there's no one that is
more important than the other.
Exactly. Yeah. You need it all. It's important to be well-rounded. And
yep, exactly.
There you go. Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
This episode has been a production of the Capistrano Valley Christian Schools Podcast Network. Capistrano Valley Christian Schools is a Christian JK-12 school in San Juan Capistrano, California. Be sure to check out, subscribe to, and leave a review of this show and the other shows on our network on your podcast player of choice. Doing so supports the school community in a multitude of ways. For more information about the CVCS Podcast Network or any of our other shows, check out cvcs.org or email podcasts@cvcs.org. On behalf of the whole network, this is Mr. Jasper saying thank you again for listening and stay tuned for more.